Okay, okay. Hopefully this works. I'm sorry about that, folks. I'm still JPEG. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know why my mic broke for some reason, but yeah, it was like all the settings were off, and then I just plugged it in and out, or out and in, and it just like disappeared. It wasn't recognized or anything. So yeah, I had to like look for it manually, and I made it work, but hopefully I can find a way to like have my settings back. Let me know if it sounds horrible. Let me know if it sounds too loud, too quiet, or distorted in any way. Because I guess it's just having a day. No, I haven't died, chat. How are y'all doing? It's good to see you. Sound fine? I'm glad to hear that. Welcome Beppo Siphon, Mr. Man, Sora, Aquella, Wen, um, Muli Pyro. Hi, folks. Siegfried, Irido, Koala, Vashanti. How are y'all doing? It's my technical issues. We're back. We're back. No worries. Bean is just out, so he'll say hi again in a minute. It's Mrs. Granny to you. Anyway, let's just get right into it, shall we? I'll keep my mic settings like just off to the side here. Artist One, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, folks. 12-hour raid. Lilith, thank you so much. Mining stream on. This is wild. Thank you so much, Lilith. Valmir Eterna, thank you for the follow. Welcome, folks. How was your stream, Zwa? Anyway, we are back, and I had to fix some mic settings, but looks like we're okay. So let's get into it, right? I am gonna work on the fractal series today, so I guess like let's do what we always do whenever there's a fractal stream. Let's just do a quick review of the series so far. Hey, I'm back to being crispy. Let's do a quick review of the series so far, so everybody can be on the same page, especially because there's some new folks in here. So, the Fractal series is this thing I've been working on for years now. It's this little like world building apocalyptic thing that happens in its own timeline in our world, right? So it all starts July 23rd, 2006, when this ship capsizes and it spills some kind of oil into the water, and the oil starts taking fractal patterns. And at first it's just like a localized event. Some strange things start to happen though, like the fish start growing in strange shapes. And soon enough though, this thing starts spreading. This strange like shimmery liquid gets picked up into the air, into a hurricane that lands on land. And as it does, other things start to be affected. At first little, then more. And not only their shapes, but also their behaviors. The birds will start flocking in strange ways, or the spiders will start building strange spider webs, that sort of thing. Soon enough, it starts affecting humans as well as some, at first, what seems like regular bacteria start growing as, you know, uncontrollably, kind of like they were infectious and they grow in fractal patterns. But quickly it starts affecting humans as well. This is just a year in to the fractal sort of showing up. And we start getting like the first signs of fractal infection in humans. Just small things at first, like, you know, teeth or nails. Slowly though, it starts affecting their brains, just like the birds. And instead of flocking though, you know, there's things like, you know, people forming a queue, but instead of queuing up in a line, they start queuing up in strange fractal patterns, or children doing weird hopscotch things. And a couple of years into this, a huge religion forms. They call themselves a fractal communion, and they start worshipping this fractal substance, which has now been like sort of isolated and identified as something called Hausdorff D2.5. And they say it's capable of miraculous things. So they start just like using it, for example, for this blind person to recover their eyesight. Remember this picture; it's gonna show up later. So we keep jumping up in the timeline again a few years. This is 2011, 2 years after this religion is sort of like formalized, and there's a subsection of this religion who goes a step further from, people should voluntarily expose themselves to the fractal as like a sort of miraculous thing. They go one step further and say we should spread the fractal to everybody. So they commit a quote-unquote terrorist attack, right? Where they just like release this fractal juice. They vaporize it and release it all over major cities. I love that. I love that meme. Just small things, teeth and nails. That's pretty small compared to this, baby. The clouds also being fractals in Julia sets. Yeah, everything gets fractalized, not only like living things, but things only get fractalized at the rate at which they grow. So like a cloud, or at the rate at which they change, I should say. So a cloud will get fractalized at the rate, at which a cloud changes. So pretty much instantly, right? Or within a few seconds or minutes. Something like a spider, which grows fairly fast, would get fractalized really quickly. A human would get fractalized over like months or years, because that's just like the fastest that your own cells can divide. So it would take longer for humans. That's why we're seeing this like grow slowly. You have to keep your desk more organized. TTS is quiet. Oh yeah, I had to turn down music a bit because it was very loud last stream. Can turn it up a bit though. I think the docking is back on. Oh no, it isn't. Okay, the ducking should be on now. There we go. So I can turn the music a little louder, and the text-to-speech will also be a little louder. More hands equals faster hand washing. I don't think it works like that, because you also have to wash more hands. So, like, you can wash more hands with more of your other hands, so it probably like equalizes. Probably reaches some sort of equilibrium. A fractal is based off of real events. It was really funny when I last posted this series to Twitter. It went pretty viral. A lot of people saw it that weren't aware of it, because it used to be like scattered on separate posts on Twitter. And I was like, I'm just gonna post it as like a thread. Right, and I was also posting it to Blue Sky at the same time. So a lot of people saw it through these posts that weren't aware of the series before. And some people thought it was either real or like some kind of conspiracy thing, which is really funny. It's like, I think you would have heard if that was real. Anyway, so we got this terrorist group. They call themselves the Branch, and they start releasing the fractal as like a sort of vapor over cities, and when it rains, it coats everything in the fractal. So it infects like tens of millions of people. So we keep jumping forward in time. Now we got like huge chunks of population that have been affected by the fractal, and the first response that a lot of governments do is try to like quarantine these zones, essentially like quarantine a lot of like major cities around the world, and people will not take that very well. They will start fighting back against like the police and stuff, and they start using, like, they're already fractalized, so they don't care. Like, they start using the fractal as a weapon, which kind of spreads it, helps just spread it further and affect like nearly everyone at this point. So last part that we have released is like already jumping forward to the majority of the human population is already victim to the fractal, right? So as this happens, like this sort of fights between fractal and not non-fractalized people, it just stops because there's no points to it anymore. So it kind of like the world falls back into a sort of peace, and people start, as we saw, like there's not only like the fractal shape, there's also fractal behaviors that start taking place. So we start seeing that like going to the maximum as people just single-mindedly get together and start building these mega structures. And it's just like senseless, gigantic fractal structures that, they just start dedicating every last bit of humanity's resources is dedicated to these like ridiculous, enormous monuments. See, here we see people lining up to just provide more material for it. You showed off the snakes aren't real post at your LARP last week and everybody loved it. Hell yeah. But yeah, I made a shirt design with snakes aren't real. So hold on. I'm gonna do the merch command. There you go. You got a link right there in the chat. There's actually a couple new designs. This one is new too, the parasitoid one. The previous designs are always there, but there's a new one here. Snakes aren't real, and it is, based on the snakes aren't real post. I really like how this design came out, honestly, and it had a lot of success, so happy about that. It's true that people should be aware of this. It's really important. Snakes aren't real. I would just join the queue even in fun fractalized to fit in and feel useful. I love your support, Mad. Anyway, that's where we are in the fractal series, and I'm preparing the next parts. So the next part is going to delve back into the body horror aspect, which we've been looking at a lot of like the societal aspects, touching into body horror in things like this. But we haven't like delved deep into the consequences of people's health that this is having since like the beginning, since this like very early stage. We've been seeing it sort of advance in the background as I sort of just speak of other things. People in the foreground like this, or even like just people in the background have some sort of fractalization going on, mostly in the arms, because that's what you can see. This person has a double head and a bunch of extra arms that are starting to grow. Just like people working here, you can check for like extra limbs and little things like that. It's not too visible because we're not really like seeing them up close and they're like all covered up, but there are little things like that. But it is now time to go back to the body horror and explore how some of the people in the past of the series, not necessarily the people we've seen, but like the same disease has progressed. So we have done the progression of the fractal arms, and we've done this using a basket star, which is a real, like, really fractal animal. I've kind of applied that to human arms to create this just like incredibly convoluted arm system. And now we want to do that for the eye. Good back scratch. Yeah, absolutely. Lots of tiny little nails to scratch there. You know, people all around Twitch happen to love the Fresno crawler emotes. They're hit everywhere. Yes, I love that. Yeah, everyone loves their crawler emotes. They're great. You're not the first person, Kurt, to tell me that they've used the crawler emotes elsewhere in Twitch and everybody loves them. Makes me really happy. Everyone go follow Matt's at human person. Hold on, I'm gonna link. Gonna give you guys a link to his I guess Blue Sky. This was made by my friend Matt's, which got a link right there to his Blue Sky. And yeah, he's just a great artist, has this really cute style, and it just really killed it with that emotes. Anyway, we are taking the same approach to this image. So we're going to show the progression of this eye in, you know, like what happened to this person a few years later, because it's 2009. So you can imagine like what happened, what is up with this person in like 2015 or something. And I already worked on this, but I'm not happy with the results. So we're essentially going to like take parts of what I previously made and remake it, but better. So you might be familiar with this. It's years old at this point. I'm just not happy with like the central eye. I'm not happy with the face I'm using for the background, but I do like, you know, the general shape of it. That's essentially what I wanted. So yeah, that's essentially what I want to fix up here. But before that, I'm gonna get Bean because he might be at the door. Hello, Bean. Everyone say hello, Bean. Oh, yeah. Look at him. What's up, little man? Oh, yeah. Oh, you got your whiskers in my eye. Oh, he's falling asleep. Last night he slept. He decided to jump in bed, and he really wanted to be the little spoon, so he got like in front of my face, like nearly smothered me. But it was really cute, so I let him. So he slept for like hours in basically like this position, but you know, imagine like lying in bed, but like this. Oh, this sleepy boy. Oh, you're so sleepy. Oh, chat. check this out. You guys remember, I got this new camera, which you're seeing. It has zoom and cool stuff like that. But I still got two webcams. One of them is Beam Cam. So I've got like Beam Cam here. So there it is. It's just on my table. But I now have Beam Cam 2. And let me see if I can get it. Oh, wait, what is it? Alt. Trying to remember the. That's anticlimactic. I forgot the keyboard shortcut for it. It is Control-Alt-B. I think that was what I was doing. Okay, the keyboard shortcut is not working. That's great. There it is. I got Beancam 2. Hello. Anyway. Nope. Bean, I'm gonna let you down. I'll let you sleep on your little bed. How about that? You can go. Sleepy boy. Oh. Let me zoom back out. And put beam cam on. There it is. I now have 3 camera angles, and 2 of them are for Bean. He's the most important guy. Behind the scenes. My camera might be fractal, yes. That's why you get so many angles. Also, got bean hair in my eye. Always great stuff. Beckett did not respond. He caught on. He must have caught on. He's still been like active. I still see the little live symbol, and I've insisted, but Beckett caught on. We've reached his limits. We got him up to like thinking I was really sick with teeth growing out of my hands. So it is a victory. The goal was to see how far could we how far we could get before he would stop responding. So we did get that far. It stopped at my death, but you're still gonna draw him? Who, Beckett? You're gonna draw Beckett? That'd be so funny though. What I was gonna say earlier was, what if you use a complex function mapper to transform the image instead of manually blending? I have no idea what that means, 27. I've used many fractal programs. There's one I've used a lot that, mostly towards the beginning of the series, essentially to like warp images into fractal shapes. And I used that for the flower, I used that for the block, but it works best with like only certain kinds of images. The fish also use that. It works best with certain types of images, and the sort of image I've been doing for like the latter part of the fractal series is not really, what I'm doing is like more complex, so this plugin has not been useful anymore. Valket instance lost between a doctor and a scammer. Okay, I'm also going to show you, because I tend to only show this to people on stream. So you guys are lucky. You guys are getting a glimpse into the rest of the Fractal series. Because believe it or not, I've actually done a bunch of images for the future of the series that I haven't released yet. Because each part of the series I try to have 3 images. So I've sort of done like the main image for a bunch of future parts. And the one after this, after the like advanced body horror one, is going to be essentially like showcasing like what remains of humanity, or you know, the corpses left behind basically, and the ruins. And one of them is going to be this one, which is a fractal skull, and there is a little fractal flower growing out of it. But yeah, basically to show that humanity is sort of done for at this point. And then I got actually 2 images that will go way further into the future. After humanity has died, we jumped millions of years into the future. I don't know if I'll specify how many, but it'll be like way further in time. And life just goes on, right? Humanity has died, but life has adapted and continues to thrive. So we get this one, which I think is probably my favorite image of the entire Fractal series, because this series starts with a human catching this like sad-looking deformed fish, and millions of years later, there's no humans, and the fish have survived, and they're now like beautiful and still fractal, but in a more graceful way. Like they have adapted and they've continued to thrive as humans haven't. So sort of like the bookend to the series. And I also got these fractal mountains, because as I said, things only fractalize at the rates at which they grow. So mountains would take millions of years. There's millions of years into the future, so we get actual fractalized mountains, and it's more chaotic fractalization, but you can still see like weird spiral patterns and stuff. And trees are still the same, because trees are already fractal. You got nothing to change in trees. I'm probably going to add some fractal birds like flying on here, I think. But that's the base of the image, at least. Fractal core, yes. It is all the fault of the trees. The trees were conspiring all along to destroy humanity, and they win. Honestly, the whole Fractal series can be seen as a sort of like humans versus nature thing, where, you know, it's kind of like nature taking revenge on humans. There's something really interesting that I've thought about often, that Mandelbrot said. Like, Mandelbrot's the guy who like kind of coined fractals and, you know, did a lot of the math behind fractals. Obviously came up with the Mandelbrot set. He gave this talk where he explains, like, you know, fractal dimension is, you know, when you measure like dimensions not in like concrete numbers, like something is 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, but you start like taking things into like, you know, things that are not quite 2-dimensional or quite 3-dimensional. If you start measuring these like sort of like fractal dimensions and you measure things like mountains, they have some, you know, they're not, they have some like fuzzy fractal dimensions. They're not like quite perfectly 3D if you count it like that. While things that humans make tend to be a lot more like perfectly three-dimensionals, right? Like if you measure buildings compared to mountains or like natural features. So in a way, nature is already really fractal. Life is already really fractal, but things humans create don't tend to be, and I really like that as like a sort of representation of the you know, human versus nature thing. Dragon curve like creature. I thought a dragon curve, but never found a good way to implement it. Hey Macton. Have a good time on yourself. Thanks for popping in. Your friend got top surgery today. Hey, congrats. You're on call to assist tonight and tomorrow at their house. Hell yeah. Well, good luck to you too. Hope it all goes well. Hope recovery is nice. Chamoko, thank you for the follow. Sorry Bean is on top of the notification. Whoops. Get your ass off of there. Humanity's place in this case is the ground, yes. The way I've always seen the Fractal series is the hubris of humanity coming back to bite us in the ass, using nature as a weapon to put humanity in its place. Yes, I like that ender. Bean takes priority over measly followers. That is true. He's very important. We gotta let him know. I got squid bits for him today. I went to the supermarket that sells them. He's excited. Squid bits. Later, Bean. We'll do squid bits later. You can sleep now. He was so happy to just hear the plastic of the squid bits. Anyway, let's do this. So I toiled over this image a ton. I did a bunch of versions. This entire document is like 4 gigabytes or more. And I still don't like it. So I think what I'm gonna do is just take all of this and whoops, weird edges for sure, but yeah, I'm gonna take the eye and transplant it somewhere else. And I also want to redo the central eye, because yeah, I just don't like it. There's just an angel. Kinda, yeah, it does that vibe. Some kitty cat, thank you for the follow. So yeah, I don't know if I want to make it more of a close-up. Maybe that would help. But I think I essentially just need like a new face to put this, to just like transplant this on top of. Here we have the mega pupil, I called it, which I want to remake as well. And I'm just kind of like refamiliarizing myself with all these layers. I'm also going to try to like lighten the document up a little bit because it is now very heavy. It has been through many different revisions and stuff, so it is getting a little ridiculous. And I'm also gonna take the time while it is in this in this like half hidden version, I'm gonna take a little time to just clean up some edges. Okay. What is this layer? There we go. Okay, and this one, just the worst of them. No. That must be it. There we go. Okay, that is a little better. Oh, and thanks for the save reminder. I was about to ask why do cats like to bite when they're playing. Oh, Bean doesn't. So whatever model you come up with has to account for Bean. Because he is not a biter at all, or a scratcher to be honest. He's just the sweetest boy in the land. Artists have layers. Well, in my case, I got 177 layers in this document. So I guess I would be like a really large onion. That's why I'm saying I gotta... I'm also getting JPEG'd. That's why I say I gotta clean up this document, because it is kind of ridiculously large. Also, it does make sense. Look at how many eyes are in here. It is kind of ridiculous. Okay. Cleaned this up. Now you got this little corner that's originally being cut by the hair, but we want to bring that back. Okay, that's not it. I just gotta find like the correct... That's weird. Why do I have this layer on? I guess I wanted to add another eye here in this corner, which does make sense. Like it would also spread on this side. Garlic is just fractal onion. I can see what you mean. Better to have lots of layers than to accidentally put everything on one layer. I guess it is two sides of the coin, yeah. Yeah, we'll have to figure out the eyes like coming off this little corner. But I think first of all, let's figure out our new face. Word in Spanish. Let's do eyelash. Eyelash is pestaña, which is also like a browser tab. Those are also pestañas, and I don't know why. Okay, so I guess let's just look for face. And let's find like a decent close-up of a face. That's fairly neutral. That one's not bad. But I think I'm gonna go like closer than this. Like it's probably gonna be a little more zoomed in. I'm not quite sure yet. Faces scare you, and stock photos are scary. That's understandable. Okay, I could see something like this, where... Hold on, I'm just gonna take a... Okay, first of all, I'm gonna remove all the lighting passes I did on top because they all apply to the original image. So they're just gonna look weird elsewhere. And I might keep these lights. Okay. So if I take all of this, I group it up. I just want to, before like actually moving every layer and sort of committing to that, just want to test it out on like a sort of combined layer, and then they will decide whether to actually go for this. Pestaña, yes, with a P. Okay. Honestly, I can see it as a sort of close-up like that, where the entirety of the eye mass is not fully visible. I sort of dig that, even though this part is my favorite, so maybe. Maybe we do this. And we try to center this on the real eye. I mean, we don't have to like have this, the main eye bulb, let's call it, sort of centered on the actual eye, because like something like this big growing would certainly like change the shape of your face. Everything would sort of get pushed around by it. So I don't mind like having the eye like pushed off to the side a bit. Yeah, we definitely need to add more off to this side, because right now it's very empty. Obviously the picture we were working with before, it just had like hair covering it, so it was less of a concern, but yeah, I could see this working. Still not like fully committed to this picture though. I want to see others. But what I'm thinking is pictures that, you know, are decent close-ups. Like this one might not be that good because it's not that high quality, so it's not that good on a close-up. So yeah, I might want a picture where it is already kind of close. It's not like very edited, you know, it's not like skin smoothing going on, because I don't want that. And yeah, that's my main concerns. And also, I guess I should add is human, because there are cats here. And why is this showing up in my results for face? I guess there is a face, technically, too. Oh, okay. This is an interesting idea. What if the person is like sort of covered up in shame? It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Like you get this crazy fractal eye and we can't see a lot of it because it is obscured. So again, this is just a testing layer. We're just figuring out what we want, but I kind of dig that. Oh, welcome back, Crispy. Crispy me. More Spanish? More eye things. A lot of words are similar. So I'm always trying to think when you do teach me word in Spanish. I'm always trying to think of words that are like somewhat different. So, like pupil is boring because it's just pupila. The audio? Is my audio messed up? Okay, let me know because it is... My mic has been acting up, so... Let me know if you can't hear me. Is that only on Aquila's side, or can you guys not hear me? The audio is fractal? What is going on? Okay. Let me listen to myself. Okay, I'm listening to myself. It sounds alright on my end, I think. Okay. Can you hear fine? Okay, then it must have been on Quilla's side. I got scared because my mic has been weird today. No, don't worry, you're good. Nothing is fecal. Okay. Oh, Spanish words. Yes, before I forget. Spanish words related to eyes. Oh, tears. A tear is una lágrima. Which is probably pretty weird to say for English speakers. Okay, I dig the idea of the covered face. That's pretty interesting. Kind of leaves a little bit of mystery to it, doesn't it? See, I might go with that. It kind of goes with the same the other image we made for this, which is the advanced fractal arms, and the person is like not really showing their face. We're only seeing them from the back. I think it might be a pretty interesting thing to just have like all these people like hiding like in shame of their fractalness. The lacrimal apparatus is a medical name for tear system. Yeah. Googly eyes, of course. Actually, oh, there it is. I had some old googlies, but they make no sense anymore because they were on the old image. And I also got a bunch of layers that I just... Hold on. Oh, here's a drawing I did of the idea. Actually, you know, pretty good. Here's another drawing. Okay, that's kind of looks like the same, honestly. Here's fractals I drew. Okay. It's me like rediscovering little notes I made. Anyway, there we go. Googling the real eye. You didn't expect that, did you? Real-time archaeology. Remembering things I did, like, possibly like a year or two ago. Okay, so... yeah, let's go with that. The hidden face vibe. So I'm just gonna, like, I'm gonna keep the old face in case we need any of these layers back, but we're gonna start working with this. So first of all, here we have the actual group with all the fractal eye layers. You found a print of a clown eating spaghetti and you bought it? Hell yeah. Okay, and yeah, now we just have to find like the perfect spot for this. Considering the real eye is down here, we can keep it sort of centered around the real eye and keep it there, or we can, I think it might be better if you just like move it a little bit to the left. Give the all the branching eyes a little bit more space. That's gonna take a while because that's a lot of layers. That's why I didn't want to like move the group around a bunch of times, and I was like doing it on a test layer. Hey Raccoon, it's good to see you. You're thinking about exploring the horror art space, might incorporate your photography into it. Any advice for someone just getting started? I mean, what point are you at? Are you like very beginning, just starting out? I've never opened Photoshop before. Have you done something? What's your previous experience? Nothing horror related. So you're more interested in knowing like how to get started in horror specifically rather than like photo manipulation? Okay, first thing I want to redo is the mega pupil. And there's also this eye, which I don't love. But I definitely do want to have at least something on this corner. So I might just take this group, put it over the mega pupil. There we go. That way it doesn't get squashed by it. So getting into horror, I don't know if I can give you like a very specific advice, because that's not really like a technical thing. It's more of a stylistic thing. Do you want to do like the kind of stuff I do? Or stuff like Trevor Henderson does with like editing, like painting on top of a photo? What's your approach? And if the answer is I don't know, maybe try both. See what you sort of vibe with the most. This eye. It's too much reflection here. So I don't think we can actually use it there. Yeah, we'll find another one, I think. I think first things first, I want to take some stuff from this bit that's been cut out. These two eyes. And since they're not going to be visible, I'm going to transplant them just over this corner here. They're gonna need a little editing, but that way we actually use that work instead of letting that go to waste. But yeah, it's definitely gonna need a little bit of shadow. Does that work? No. Okay, and that's for a completely different eye. Just gonna call that small ones. There we go. That way I can add some like individual filters to them. These are cow eyes, if I recall correctly. But yeah, I'm kind of doing this thing with the fractal disease in general, where I'm using like animal parts to just make it feel like less human. Like make these like tiny little eye stumps that are growing into something that feels a bit more like primitive, like it's not quite a fully grown eye. So that's why I'm using like different animals for that. No, not frogs for this one though, no. That's for Terry. That's only Terry. So far you keep getting a feeling for nostalgic stuff. Play around with that. Yeah, it sounds fun. Frog eyes, they're really good. I will freely admit to that. But too non-human for the Fractal series. Man, there's so many layers here. It's getting kind of silly. Ooh, big stretch bean. Goat eyes are always good. I think this is a goat eye, actually. Okay, so I'm trying to think like what to do with the big main eye. And you know, this is what I had in the concepts. And I think it looks better on paper than it does on the actual page. And you know, there's something I did want to make this look like it's the same person as this one. Hence the central pupil still being blind, still having like this like cloudy lens. But I don't actually know if it's gonna be the same person. Okay, let me see under the googly, because this should be the size of the main pupil. Like if we go for this one. Much options besides giraffe and goat eyes for mammals? Oh, there's plenty. Bird eyes are good too. Yeah, elephant eyes are ones that I really love to use in general because they look kind of human, but in a slightly creepy way. So whenever I need a creepy eye, I tend to go for elephants. Okay, so I'm just like removing a lot of these edit layers just to see if I can rework that. Crab eyes, built-in eye shield wipers. Yeah, this person would have like the driest fucking eyes. Like, imagine having this. You can't really blink. You'd need either like constant eye drops or yeah, really high pain tolerance, I guess. But I guess that might be the least of your concerns. If there's a massive eyes growing, probably taking over all the structures in your face and your brain. just use more fractal juice. That will certainly solve it. Sorry, I'm thinking here, putting on my thinking cap, and there's a few things we could do. We could just keep the current proportions, but reduce the size of the main eye to something a bit smaller. We could... So, you know, like taking everything from here and kind of sort of like moving it up to close in the shape a little bit, get a smaller like main eye. That's one option. Another option is just taking everything and making it a little smaller until this eyeball shape is, you know, approximately the same as if you took the lids off of this eye. So, you know, just like making everything slightly smaller. I think that the first option might look best, but I won't know until I actually try it. So for now, kind of keeping this like pupil layer like this. The main eye is really big, yeah. It's kind of on purpose, but it's bothering me now. So I'm gonna have to like organize a bit. I'm gonna hide this eye for now. All these little bridges I'm gonna have to move later. Just gonna try to find like every eye under here. I'm gonna color it red, for example, or violet. It's a little bit easier to click. You're getting violet as well. This is gonna make sense in a minute, I hope. Kind of coloring them so I can move them all together, basically. So All of these are violets. Now I can take colored layers, just violets, and select all of them. Move them up, and oh boy, there's a lot of stuff I gotta move up with them, I guess. Alright, let me hide those wrinkles. There we go. Okay, that is a little better. Oh, see you, Wen. Good luck with your Spanish work. Oop, there we go. There are so many layers I gotta take care of. It's kind of a labyrinth. Neo Void, thank you for the follow. I wish I didn't have eyes so I couldn't see this anymore. Too late. There are so many layers here. It's crazy. Like there's this circle here, and I can't quite point out where it's from. What is this circle? Very interesting. There's no answer. Oh, it's a mask. Okay, so it wasn't a layer, which is the lack thereof. So you're going crazy trying to find a layer that didn't exist. It was just a bit that was masked out. There we go. That helps. Thank you, Alex. Okay, see you, Aquila. Have a good night. Okay, I'm slowly pushing this into shape, but it is such a complex machine that it takes some time, doesn't it? Like, okay, I'm now getting like parts of the background, like the original eye kind of popping up. I'm gonna have to deal with that now that I've more or less cleared a lot of the other things. Also removing some more shadows. See you, spare keys. Thanks for the save reminder. Making some of these layers a lot more, like, I guess, neutral. Okay, now I guess I need some sort of lower edge for this. So I get just like a new eyelid, probably. Like, okay, I can take this and then puppet warp it. Move that there, move that. Ooh, no, that's not a great puppet warp, is it? Come on. Get into shape, you weird layer. Come on. There we go. Okay, so I'm using this eyelid to sort of cover up the base layer, like the actual eye this person has. And oh, talking about the eye the person has, boom, googly eye is back. So now I need to fix up the color and remove some of the soft light layer. Kind of bring this back to something a bit more normal. And now we're getting close to an eye that actually makes some sense, which is good. That's a good thing. Ooh, hello, Bean. He's moving my mouse. Good stretch right there, Bean. It's funny how, like, doing things from an already, like, complex base like this is actually quite hard, like, compared to doing it from scratch. I don't know if it's, like, actually more time consuming, because I haven't quite compared the two things, but it is pretty time consuming. Okay, I'm gonna need to expand these little bridges. There's also whatever's gone on in this layer, I guess. There we go. That's the one. There's a bunch of stuff I broke, which is par for the course, I guess. Oh. Ooh. New bean position. There he goes. Okay, I actually want to take some of these little bridges I already created and just use those again, because that one works pretty well, for example. I'm gonna take this eye and sort of move it up. Matching this is like a very weird puzzle. For some reason, this eye is just like a little transparent. Like just a little. Either that or there's something on top of it. Let me guess, the wrinkles? No. strange stuff. Yeah, talking about those wrinkles, that's a lot of stuff I drew to essentially just like add some distress to the skin around the eyes. A lot of it is just drawn. Probably most of it. But yeah, I want to like redo the wrinkles around all these eyes that we just moved. Okay. Starting to mesh together now. At least to some extent. Okay, now this main eye needs some work because we essentially like flattened it, and we need to make it a little, you know, give it a little volume essentially. So let me find the big eye, which I think is going to be this layer. There we go. And we're just going to add like edits on top of it. And we're going to have to make sure to match everything we add here to the little bridges that connect it to the other eyes. That's definitely going to be something to look for. But first things first is making it look decent. We'll then worry about matching it all. Okay, whoa. Okay, Photoshop, don't go weird on me, please. I know you're working with like nearly 200 layers, but just hold out a little bit. You can do this, little Photoshop. You're the little program that could. So if I manage to copy this little bridge. And when I say bridge, I mean these little bits of sclera that connects all the eyes. I hate when Photoshop just snaps your layer back when you moved it. It's one of the most annoying bugs they have. And that's saying, because they got bugs aplenty. Recently, Photoshop put out that survey, as they do sometimes. And it's always a great opportunity to tell them that I absolutely loathe all the generative AI stuff that they've been trying to push. And they had these questions like, what would you like to see Photoshop focus on in the future? And there was one option that was like fixing the bugs. I was like, do you really need your audience to ask you like, please for the love of God fix the bugs? Dedicate time to this. You really need to ask that in a poll. Like, yeah, that should be obvious. You should have figured that out. That priority out. Wallace Spider, thank you for the follow. Yeah, we love Adobe in this house, don't we all? Love Adobe and their cool priorities and their cool subscription service. Awesome. And if you're Adobe, if you work for Adobe and you're listening to this, I will for enough money tell people to buy your products, but come in with a big offer. It's gotta be good. Actually, no, I can't tell people to buy your products because you can't even buy Adobe products. You can only like rent them. Oh, little bean is snoring. Lovely beast. Always fun to notice like a weird line and having to figure out where you messed up for that line to show up. That's Dragon Layer map for a D&D game or something. Oh, there it is. That's my layer. There we go. Oh, what happened to the bridge on this eye? Did I mess that up? Let's see. Yeah, there should be something. Whoops. Guess I fucked up. Six of them, nice. Okay, I'm gonna have to improvise a little something here. But yeah, chat. I'd like to know what what are you guys working on lately? Tell me about any cool projects you're working on. God, these little chunks between eyes are gonna be the death of me. They're definitely like the hardest thing to get right, I think. There's like lots of textures kind of clashing. And you gotta figure out like a graceful-ish way for the eyelids to just kind of bend in weird ways. I don't know. Ideally it will be something where it'll be seamless enough that people won't really look at it that much, but still gotta get it somewhat right, so... Ideally. But yeah, I didn't show you guys. I went to Vienna this weekend. It was a nice little, like, improvised trip. Basically, I got through some... My sister and I got some free flights thanks to our brother, who can get us, like, occasionally some free flights. But it was like, oh, I got two of them and you gotta take them like this month because they run out like after this month. So we improvised a little weekend trip to Vienna because that was like one place where we both had direct flights. So we could both like use those free flights and it was very nice. I had a lot of fun. And I'll show you. I'll show you. We took, so my sister took an old analog camera that she has. It's like a very busted Soviet camera that she got from her old like university. And let me see. And the pictures it takes are really nice. It's just like a little busted, so. Oh, it takes some nice pictures of Vienna. There's just some city bits, a duck, little things like that. Here's me. Here's me again, lurking. Yeah, I really like this one from the big palace at Vienna. And this one here was nice. Looks like the statue is trying to escape. Oh yeah, this one was nice. Oh, hold on. Cropping, I forgot. Bean was in the middle. This one was nice. We were having breakfast and we noticed, I was like, this is me having breakfast right before. And we noticed this graffiti that said rouge, which means red in French. It's painted in red. So we were like, oh, it would be really nice if we get. And my sister, this is my sister, was wearing a red coat. Or like, oh, it would be really nice if we could get like some like red elements and kind of line it up and take a picture with like there was somebody passing by in a red bike and we couldn't get that one because it went by like too quick, so we weren't ready for the photo. But later on, I was like, you know, I just told my sister, just go up there and I'll take a photo of you with the red coats. And suddenly two ladies with red coats show up. And I took this picture. It was really nice. Really serendipitous. Initially it was going to be something like this with just my sister. But yeah, that was a fun one. And some of them ended up busted, like this one. Whoops. The sun ate the photo. Yeah, that's me. That's me again. That was nice. Always nice to take advantage of having a brother who's a pilot. I still wonder what the layer is on top of this. Oh, there it is. It was just a small issue with the order of layers. Simple enough to fix. Okay, proportions are better on the big eye. So now I'm just gonna take everything, sort of move it around a little bit. I want the big eye here to be approximately, you know, at least on the same like horizontal line with the real one. So that might, you know, that entails moving some other things around. Like so. Oh, that's gonna take a minute. Lots of layers in there. about about 177. I mean, that's a total, so let's say about 150 in this group, in the I group, approximately. Fun stuff. I definitely won't break my computer. Which file size? I think this one's about like four something gigabytes. Just to give you an idea. Or at least it was like, you know, before we started this session. So that might be slightly different now. Okay, so there's a few things I want to change that were on the original eye, this one here, that I don't want to feel too copy pasty. So we got, if you see the eye here and the eye here, you can see them repeated both here and here, which is approximately in the same place as, you know, if we take the other one as a guide and say like this is the same person. First of all, we'd need to flip the image, which I don't mind. I actually kind of like it flipped. So yeah, I'm just gonna flip the canvas. So yeah, we could say it's the same eye, same person a bit later. But I feel like we need to change it, at least like shift it a little bit. So that isn't like too suspicious. Okay, so I think it's like mostly these two pupils. I feel like this one is already different enough. Like it doesn't feel too copy-pasted to me, considering, you know, it's still in the same place, but it's more or less, so slightly changed. This one though feels too samey, so I think I might just like move the pupil inside. This one is, oh, it's a toucan's pupil. Interesting. I had forgotten about that. So what I might do is just take this and do a copy of it like this, push it towards the center, and warp it. And then we have to probably flip this so we can get an uninterrupted edge up here. Okay, that's not perfect. Let's redo that. There. Now it's the same eye, but it's different enough that it hopefully won't call our attention too much. Hey, Privyet, I don't know how to read that at all. So you might have to translate your message to English. What version of Photoshop? The latest one, so that would be 2025. Thanks for translating, Siegfried. Okay, I'm copy pasting some skin in here to remove the eyebrow. I'm sorry, but we don't have space for eyebrows in here. You have generative fill working in Photoshop? It actually doesn't like really work for me for some reason, but it's not like I use it anyway, so yeah, I do have the subscription. But last time I tried it, it was just kind of bugged for me. Not that I care to use it. Oh, good night, Siegfried. Sleep well. Okay, so I need sort of a sideways eye, kind of like this, honestly, to have something here, because, yeah, we would need, honestly, considering the eye here being an evolution of this one, it would need 3 eyes on the corner. Right? Because we're looking, yeah. We'd need 3 eyes on the corner because we're looking at it from the same side. And I'm wondering if that's going to be like too much. Like too complex. I guess there's another option, which is covering a little bit of this with some more of a scarf or whatever you might call this. That would be the lazy option, but sometimes lazy is what you need, so that would definitely be an option. Because the problem with this side, which it just makes it a lot harder, is it's not like taking eyes like this and putting them on here, but it's like a completely different angle. So you need like, you know, you need the eyes to be kind of sideways. And it's not going to be easy to find good images for that. I might go lazy route. I'm gonna try at least. Let's see if it looks decent. So yeah, I could reuse like this edge. Could also use a little bit from this side. But it's more shadowy there, so not as easy to use. Okay. I'm also gonna have to remove all these little floating hairs, I guess. They don't make a lot of sense, kind of, in this position. Okay, so let me try to do that. And I think it's gonna be as easy as taking another texture from a different side. This image, say this bit, maybe? Placing it on top of the area I want to affect. And then just combining that. And hopefully getting rid of the floaty hairs this way. Well, it's not perfect, but it is a good start. All right, then some shadow right underneath this new bit of fabric that we put in. That will cover over the eye and over some of the skin below as well. Now, I may want to sort of exaggerate that shadow for dramatic effects. Yeah. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot more already compared to our starting points. Okay, and I think it's time to revisit the pupil. Originally, we had this weird like mega pupil with a bunch of different smaller ones, and might be a little bit of a mess. So I simplified it down to just one. And now I feel like it's time to match it. So where's the big eye? That's my group. There we go. And that's the pupil. Should we still give the pupil like a weird shape, even if we don't go for like the multi-pupil? Not quite sure. Maybe we fractalize like the edge of the pupil. Or the edge of the iris. I mean, I keep mixing up eye terminology. You'll have to excuse me for that. So, important thing is that, you know, unless the pupil has grown in some weird way, it should be the iris, all of this bit, it should be around the same size as the other one. That said, I guess it makes the eyeball feel really large. I might just downscale the whole thing, since we do, you know, we do still have some wiggle room. Let's see now. A little bit of downscaling. Let's go back to our big eye and our big pupil. How big are we talking compared to the other one? Still a little too big, but it's not going to be that drastic now. So that is pretty good. We're also getting a little bit of the original's eye kind of getting in the way. So I would like these little folds to match our current eye. So I'm just gonna do this, kind of move that. The eyelashes are gonna have to be trimmed down, unfortunately. But that matches better. That's good. What else? We do have the lower eyelid, which is right now being covered quite a bit. But I could bring some of it back. So I take this and that helps things match a little bit better. Okay, we need to fix up these little bridges a little more. All right. Now, to kind of imply that this person cannot blink, because they cannot blink, just like physically, I want to do some red eye. I'm gonna give this person a red eye. So let's see. I think I might have some. See, I thought I had some good red eye textures, but I probably didn't save them. That's too bad. I mean, I have like this one, which is the original I used for this pupil, but not a lot of veins. Okay, I do have, I do remember an edit where I used like a pretty heavy red eye. So I can just go fish it out from there. So, this was for Dreadfarer, I believe. There's the veined carob, this one. There we go. Our boy the carob. Okay, now I gotta find the veins. Do I just have them as a... Look at this thing. I guess I have them just as a texture like this. Kind of sucks. Okay. The soft light layer. That is what we need. Can I edit contents? Maybe find the original? Yes, perfect. That's the original. Yes. Okay. It was from Adobe stock. Oh, okay. Accidentally made that really bloody looking. Oops. Okay, don't worry. Don't worry. It'll be fine. So if I put this on top of... Where's the big eye here? Great. So if I put this on multiply... Then maybe desaturate it a little bit, but not entirely. Okay. Why does that not work? Little bit of desaturation. There we go. And then we... Oh. This is not working. There we go. There we go. My hardware is, I guess, having a day. First it was the mic. No, it's this little thingamabob. Okay, one more. Another texture like this, just to go over here. Sort of completes the circle of the eye a little bit better. And oop, messed up there. There we go. This eye is bothering me. It's probably lacking some lighting mostly. I guess I just kind of pasted it on there raw. So it needs a little work. That implies putting a little shadow around it so it feels like it's digging into the skin a little bit. Cleaning up the edge. And mirroring that shadow inside. That is quite a bit better. Okay. Fix up some of the lighting. There's definitely a lot of like little lighting things to do or to fix, I guess, because a lot of the lighting that I originally did sort of pertains to the old picture and not really to the new one. So you gotta take that into account and probably end up redoing some stuff. That's okay. how are we feeling about this so far? I'd love to know your thoughts. If anything stands out, looks weird, now's the time to say it. Let me flip to see if I notice anything wrong. Okay, there's definitely some weird soft light layer. Something. Okay, here. Something in the wrinkles layer kind of messing with things. What is up here? Okay, it is inside this group. Okay. Pretty simple. It was just a weird mask. Okay, I need to redo the bridge here. For some reason it is messed up. Probably something I just messed with at some point and then just sort of forgot about, as I tend to do. But since this has been an image that I've worked on like at least 3 separate times, there's a lot of stuff that, you know, probably gets forgotten. That's why it's always good to give it a second and third check to make sure I don't miss any of those little annoyances. Because I'll tell you, if I notice something I should have fixed after it has been like published, I go crazy. You know, I totally feel the same urge that, I don't recall which artists did this, but there were artists. There was an artist that would sneak into a museum after a piece had been, you know, already done and sold and put in a museum. Sneak back in to change the things that made him go insane. And I kind of feel that sometimes. I always try not to look at little details too much, lest I go insane. But there's always like things that you miss while you're doing it, but then you realize are actually kind of glaring. And that is the stuff that gives me nightmares. Oop. There we go. Oh, thank you for the save reminder. Okay, let me try putting everything together. And I'm also gonna check all the other edits I had for the old one. Yeah, I guess these don't make any sense anymore, so just gonna get rid of them. I do kind of like this though. Gonna remake it because, you know, it does have some things that don't match anymore. But just a general idea of making the lighting more dramatic like this. I dig that. Now, let me just try the smart filters that we had on here. This is for color, and it doesn't really work for this, so discard. Okay. I'm gonna take this, we're gonna do a classic blur, then sharpen. So let me first get up close in an area where we see some different eyes and the background, and what we're gonna do is blur until the level of detail starts getting lost in the background. Should be up to 4. 4 is quite a lot, actually. Let's kind of keep it at 3, I guess. And then we go into the camera raw filter. First of all, we're going to add grain to hopefully match everything. Things poking your eye. Imagine things poking your 20 odd eyes. kind of want to go pretty dark with this one where, you know, only the eye kind of pokes out of the darkness. Makes it feel a little more mysterious, doesn't it? Okay, and then as for tones and colors, I guess first thing we're going to take a look at is the other image from this part of the series so far, which looks like this. And we're going to try to match the color vibe here, which is kind of purplish in the highlights, in the shadows, sorry, and light blue in the highlights. Okay, I'm gonna put this like off to the side so you guys can't see it right now, but I'm kind of taking it as reference. Okay, so purple, light blue. Now with the midtones, we can kind of play in between those two. And as you guys know, with the Fractal series, stylistically, I tend to go pretty hard with the colors. So, just like, have to not be afraid to make it weird. That's part of the vibe, honestly. Oh, Bean, you are out of the frame once again. There you go. I mean, what if we went opposites and we went with blue shadows, purple highlights? No, that ain't it. Yeah, I guess I need more saturated colors. It's not saturated enough. Is it too dark, maybe? Gentle shaking noises emit from the angel, like these. I don't know if the mic picks that up, but my ears pick that up. Every time I move my head, I hear the googly eyes. It is my constant reminder of Googly L's presence. Hi, Bean. He gave me a slow blinky. Now, I guess it's not about making the image brighter. Maybe it's too monochrome. Maybe it needs like a contrasting color. Could be it. It's definitely not the same vibe as this one, though. Hi, Bean. Hello. Ooh, yeah. Look at him. Hello. Yes, we got a new camera angle for you, Bean. A special second Bean cam. He woke up and wants cuddles. Don't you? He's too sweet. Too pure. Hello, Bean. Hello, little man. Chad, you now get to see every angle of Bean. Isn't that an incredible upgrade to the stream? Yeah, dude. Kiss. Thank you. He's thinking about it. Come on. Come on. Jump up. What was that scream? Did you guys pick that up? No? Come on. Yeah. Up, 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 up. Did you change your mind? Oh, he's saying hi to chats. Come on. Come on, man. I'll help you. Up. Okay. He doesn't want to be helped. He wants to go up there on his own. Come on. You got this. Yeah. He's really thinking about it. There you go. Okay. Get those. There you go. Get those little leggies up. Oh, there he is. There he is. Good boy. Where were we? Yes, we were figuring out the colors for this, and I'm still not sure. Oh, hello, Bean. Still not sure how purple, how pink to make all of this. I guess if we change the balance here, we can make it anywhere from pretty pink to like really blue. I'm kind of leaning towards bluer, to be honest. But I don't know, there's definitely like a good spots where this balances pretty well. What do you think, Bean? I love how my captions always translate Bean as being. My little being. Your eyelashes grow in the wrong direction. Posted a doodle. Okay, let me see. That actually happens in real life, though. You don't have to go very far from reality for that. You can have ingrown eyelashes. hate to have that. Well, watch out, because you could. Hey, chat. Should we give Bean a little squid treat? Bean, what do you think? Do you want your little squid? Or yeah, ooh, he's into that. Yeah. So for those who don't know, these are spicy, kind of dried squid things, like little strips, kind of like squid jerky essentially, but it's kind of sweet and pretty spicy. He goes crazy for that. Look at him right now. He goes bananas for it. I'm gonna give him a little bit. Little chunk. Just something small like this. Ooh, yeah. He devoured that. Didn't you? Didn't you devour that? Mm-hmm. You love your squid bits. Yeah, you do. Whoop, okay. Big jump. He wants more squid bits, though. He will not rest until he has devoured, ooh, every bit of squid. No, you can't have them right now. You need to do something good to get a good treat. Anyway, where were we? Oop, careful, Bean. Careful. He keeps pushing the mic with his little face. What is it, Bean? Hello. There he is. Okay, I might do something here. Whoa, careful, Bean. Careful, little man. Yeah. Whoa, Photoshop. Don't do that. You still have water there, Bean? Yeah, he does. Okay, so I might go for this, which is a second camera raw filter, which I don't tend to do, but I sort of want to like test out an even stronger version of these colors. And I can essentially just do that by increasing the saturation on top of all the previous edits, which kind of makes it a little easier essentially. And like we could add more color grading on top of this, but I don't know if that's fully necessary, except for like maybe a small little retouch. And this would give us, you know, more saturated version of this. That should hopefully match this better. I think it does, right? What does it mean? Hi, Screamer. Do you want to break down some cardboard? I know you do. I have this little thing of like cough drops, whatever you call these, and he loves tearing the packaging. So here you go for it, man. Baleen whales have baleen instead of teeth. They do. A demon with hair growing out of its mouth. Hair and mouth is always I hate that. It can happen in real life as well, though. Oh, Bean. Come over here. No, don't break anything down. It can happen in real life. Especially when you get a how do you call this in English? Like if you get tissue from your skin grafted on the inside of your mouth, which can happen, right? Let's say you get like some kind of cancer in your mouth, you have to get like a big chunk of your mucous membrane removed, and you need to like fill up that space, so you'll get a graft from somewhere else in your body. And you know that graft will usually be skin, because you don't really get a lot of mucus grafts. And your skin has hair follicles, so you have hair growing inside your mouth. And that is a terrifying prospect to me. Obviously, it is for a reason. Like, I'd rather have hair in my mouth than a big hole in my mouth, but, you know, there's levels to it. Canterbury, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I think we have the color more or less nailed down here. I can essentially mess with this filter, how strong I want the colors to be, by just like changing the opacity of this camera raw filter. What does that mean? Okay. Compared to this, which I should flip because it was originally made this way, that is a lot better. Obviously, it takes up a lot, like a much smaller space in the face, but it makes for a better composition, I think. So I don't mind that too much. What do you guys think? There's also another really important thing to figure out. We're gonna sign this. Where would the signature go? And there's a few other little things to do, but I'm mostly thinking about the signature right now. Oh, careful with my chair, Bean. It's gonna break it someday. Okay, signatures. Oh, and there's also a small but important thing to do. reflections. Eye reflections. Honestly, I should have considered that much earlier. But yeah, eyes are reflective, believe it or not. And believe it or not, when you have several eyes, all of their reflections should match. You know, at least to a degree. Like, I don't necessarily want them to all be perfect. I'm fine if there's some leeway, if there's a little bit of, you know, a little reflection that only appears in one eye, not in another. Not the end of the world. But I think they should generally match. So what I'm gonna do is reduce a lot of these. Hold on. I'm trying to find which eye is implicated here. There we go. That's the one. Hey Tartarus, how you doing? Hello, goods. How are you guys today? Oh, hi. That's a little thing, but it removes that reflection. This reflection is pretty annoying right there. This one's probably the most annoying, along with this one. Because it kind of covers like pretty critical areas of the eye. So let me see if I can find a good way to get it fixed. You know what? It was honestly not that hard. Hey Bean, you're the screamer today. What's up with you? He just wants attention. Hi Bean. There you go. Oh, he's going crazy over here. He's been sleeping all stream, so he woke up with all the energy in the world. Need a train and someone snoring beside you? Oh no. Okay, same thing for this one. Let's see if it's as easy as the other. So simply drawing the pupil on and then getting a flipped version of that. Bean. He's just running around and screaming. How much energy you got today, Bean? Where do you get that from? Yeah, meow. You've called many friends from college into my art. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, that's really cool. What's up, Bean? Do you wanna go out? Okay, I think Bean wants to leave the room. Gonna open the door for him. There he goes. I can't wait to see how that comes out of Tartarus. I'm trying really hard to not check any information about it, so I can I can have a fresh, untainted view. Okay. So we got this, and what I think we should do is just gonna go on top of the whole eye, because I'm not gonna bother putting this on specific layers for each little corner of the eye. That's gonna make me go crazy. What we're gonna take is the actual reflections in the background, which is pretty simple. It's just these two little lights, and I'm gonna blur them a little bit. And we're gonna start adding these as maybe lighten layers. We're gonna start adding these to their respective eyes. So they're gonna be a little distorted and changed depending on where it's reflecting, what kind of shape the eye has, etc. So it's not always going to be exactly the same, and we can play into that. Some of them are working on a game about the Thugarramurdi witches is a really interesting historical case of a witch hunt that happened in Spain. It was one of the few witch hunts that happened in Spain, because the Spanish Inquisition didn't really do witches. Like, it was kind of, you know, they didn't really believe in that. But one of the few cases, and it was really like talked about at the time, Goya, the artist Goya, which is my favorite artist in the world, was obsessed with that case. And I don't know, just think it's really interesting. Yeah, that's a fun idea for a game, honestly. A friend who usually doesn't like horror says that he likes my art. Oh, really? I love that. Honestly, I would say, you know, I put my art in the horror genre, but I think my art for the most part isn't that scary, so it is like, it's just like the interesting sort of horror rather than outright scary stuff. At least to me. So I'd say it's good horror for people who don't like most horror, if that makes any sense. Okay, now every eye, oh, not every eye. Now, I think every eye has the reflection. Nope, failed again. Okay, now I think for real, I got the reflection on every eye. I'm just gonna group up all these layers because it's gonna get crazy otherwise. This goes on lighten, or it could go on screen mode as well. It gives it a little bit more shine. I'm gonna put it on screen mode. I'm gonna make this version a little bigger. And boom, we got the reflections. Yeah, Lilith. I just said that. Goya was obsessed with the witches, with that specific witch hunt, and witches in general. Goya loved. He loved the good witch, and folklore in general. I don't know. I could speak about Goya for hours. Someday, mayhaps, I will do a stream only doing that. Okay. Signature. Where do we sign this? Okay. Could do reflections on the eyes, but then we would have to apply that to every single eye, so that's kind of crazy. Maybe in the weave here of the scarf. Oh, see you later, Tartarus. Thanks for coming in. Can't wait to see. Really excited. Okay, oh, let me get the cat. He's probably at the door, if I were to guess. He was not at the door, but he heard my voice and he came running. Yeah, signature. What about here? We got like a pretty clean space to put it. Maybe it does something like this. Might be good if I can figure out a good way of doing that. So let me see. You can take from the original photo, take one of the brighter parts of the scarf that has some like darker streaks going through it. Like this one would be pretty good. I'm gonna try to keep the size more or less consistent. So I'm gonna try not to resize too much when doing this. And I'm first gonna take this little chunk. And what did we draw like this? Yeah. Hi, Bean. Yeah, that's gonna need some blurring too. That's okay. so I can take these two, combine them, and I'm gonna have to go back on my premise of not resizing too much. But I don't think it's gonna matter because I'm realizing that this part is kind of blurry anyway, so it'll be fine. What's up, Bean? I don't know if you guys hear the screams through the mic, but he is speaking today. He wants everyone to hear what he has to say. Okay, let's see if this makes any sense once combined. Does that read? I think it does read as my signature, doesn't it? At least I hope so. Let me group it all and give it a blur so it matches the background. And I guess we can reduce the blur like as it gets a bit closer. Yeah, I think that reads pretty decently well. So now we add all the color stuff. We have figure out the reflections and the signature and some other little things. And also I think generally just with the reflection, those little two little touches, the central eye looks a lot more realistic, so that's really good. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. Hey, Laos. How you doing? Anyway, what do y'all think of this? I'd love to hear your thoughts, because I've been looking at this for so long. Literally, like, I'm not just talking about this stream. I'm talking about literal, like, probably like a year, more than a year since I actually started this edit. And I've been looking at it for so long that I don't think I can judge it fairly. And there might be some glaring errors I might just be not looking at because my eyes are poisoned, as my mom used to say. Like, when you look at your own art for too long, your eyes become poisoned, so you need someone else to take a look at it. So yeah, y'all let me know what you think of this, if you notice anything that you would change. Maybe put a couple little bits of shadow in the signature. Make it more obvious. There we go. Hi, Bean. Anyway, yeah, I'd love to know your guys' thoughts. Anything good or bad, because I'm gonna go insane looking at this. It is such a complex piece of work that can't really judge it fairly. This I number 6, yes. Come over, Bean. What's up with you? What's on your mind? That you're screaming so much today. What is it? You just want some attention? I bet that's it. Thanks, Laos. That is proper feedback. I do appreciate that. Because I'm at a point where I don't know if this looks good or if it looks like absolute dog shit, so... That's where I'm at. Oh, Bean! He's pushing my screens. Careful. Careful, little man. Whoa. Okay, there he goes. He said no more tablet for you. You know what, Bean? You might be right.
I think it looks more cohesive that version 1.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. Yeah, like comparatively it is an improvement over the previous version. Just don't know if like as a like in general if it's there or if this is not it yet. I keep noticing tiny little things. It's probably a lot more that I'm not seeing. But I mean, it comes with the territory of such a complex piece. Okay, one thing I hadn't checked is all these little hairs that kind of cross over in the background image. They should show up on top of the eyes, obviously. Tiny little details, but oh, sorry, bumped the mic. Yeah, hope they help. I don't know if they'll be even noticeable after adding the grain. Actually, they are. Yeah. Bean, what do you think? Bean, you never give me your feedback. Why is that? You're literally sitting on my tablet right now. Yet you do not help me. Wondering if I should give this eye a little bit more shadow, kind of shape it a little further. Okay, maybe not this much, but certainly a little more could help. I also haven't really added any shimmery textures to this one. Wonder if I should, because I guess like the fractal is more integrated into this person's body now. So I'm not sure if it would be all like coated and shimmery at this point compared to like the previous version of this image where it just feels like coated in the stuff and the fractal juice. Bean, you're putting your hair all over my screen. He loves rubbing up against the screen for some reason. Still haven't discerned why. He loves doing that. Okay. I think I'm about ready to call this one done. I'll probably just send it to friends for feedback because I do really need some feedback on this. But yeah, I'll be sending it around. Because my eyes are very poisoned on this one. So I don't know. I really don't know if I'm like missing the mark completely or if this looks good. Or anywhere in between, honestly. It is kind of a mystery to me. So yeah, sending it around will probably help. I need unpoisoned eyes. Whoa, Photoshop. Loves doing that. Anyway, yeah. I'm gonna call it there for today, I think. It's getting really late too, so I should probably go. Yeah. That's gonna be that for today. Little fractal series. A friend of this piece. And the pixel jump scare is definitely how we should call that.
Friend of the Poisoned I sound like a sick group.
It does. Yeah, tomorrow on stream, we will be finishing this little commission that I've been working on for the past few weeks about the infection, the wasp hive infection. So we get like the 4 stages of the disease. At first, just the queen wasp stinging you and putting its eggs beneath your skin. Then the larvae start hatching and building the beginnings of a nest, of a hive, I mean. And stage 3, we get like something closer to the fully formed hive. And tomorrow we're gonna do stage 4 of this, which is gonna be straight up just like a hive that barely looks like a person. Like it's taken over their entire body. Or pretty much their entire body, good chunk of it. So that's gonna be tomorrow's thing. I think it's gonna be a fun one for sure. Hadn't seen that one? Well, you have now. Yeah, that's gonna be for tomorrow, and the day after, that's gonna be Friday night. I am gonna be doing some art inspired by the comic Dust and Dread, which, if you haven't seen, Q, my friend, who makes this really cool Western horror comic, which you can read here, Dust and Dread. I'm gonna copy the link in the chat for you guys. Go read that. It's still just a few chapters so far, so you should be able to catch up with it entirely if you just read it over the next couple of days. And by Friday, when I do the stream, you'll be able to get all the context. It's a really good comic, and yeah, the upcoming part that's going to start coming out next Wednesday, it's called Quintessence. I helped write it, so it's a fun one. I think you'll really like it. And it has a guy that kind of looks like me, and it's called Edward. No more spoilers, though. But yeah, that's going to be exciting. So this Friday, we're going to have Q on stream, and we're just going to be chatting as I make some arts. So that is the plan for the next couple of days, for the rest of the week. And yeah, I hope you guys will be here for it. In any case, thank you once again so much. I will see you tomorrow. And until then, take care, folks.